Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming to our silly little Critical Role panel this afternoon. How's everyone feeling this Thursday afternoon? That makes me happy. That makes me really happy. Oh my God, I love you too. Getting here was an adventure, but we're here. It's been a delightfully chaotic start to Comic-Con, as I think we've all kind of experienced. But let's go ahead and get this panel on the road, working forward. First introduction here to our fantastic human gunslinger of the party, Taliesin Jaffe as Percy. Following up on that, we have our delightfully awkward but extremely powerful half-elf druid, Keyleth, played by Marisha Ray. Currently rocking a clay sculpture that a fan made of the airboat in past episodes, so that's awesome. Coming up next, we have our sly, charismatic, and wink-inducing ranger, Vex, played by Laura Bailey. Come on stage. Whatever you like. Following that, oh, stop taking pictures, Tiberius. We have our Dragonboard sorcerer, Tiberius, played by Ryan Akaba. Come on stage, buddy. I figured someone to take the couch would probably be you, so well done. Following that, we have the twin brother to our fantastic ranger here, the other dangerous, stealthy, half-elf rogue, Vax, played by Liam O'Brien. Come on up, buddy. And rounding out the rest of our forum here, we have the extremely strong in the body, not so much the mind, Goliath Barbarian, played by Travis Willingham Grog. Hi, guys. I myself am your humble dungeon master, Matthew Mercer. Thank you very much for coming. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll take a seat over here. And we'll share mics. I got a mic here. We got a mic over there. And Orion's rocking the front stage.
So glad
there you go. It's nap time for Orion. All right, so I guess we'll begin with a...
I guess.
Oh! What the... What? What? You guys did this. No, I had no idea. All right, so we didn't know she was here. We thought she was in New York, away forever.
Oh my God.
These are real tears, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, we got more mics. Perfect.
Oh, hey,
Yay.
Vogue.
Oh.
Hi. Hi.
I'm the only one in the group that actually knew
I'll
she was
tell you
coming, by
guys
the way,
after.
just so.
Well, I'm glad you can make it.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Hi, everyone. This is Ashley Johnson, our wonderful cleric.
Our cleric!
Pike! Woo! All right, wow. So after that emotional moment, so for those of you who don't know, we are Critical Role. We're a bunch of voice actors that have been playing Dungeons & Dragons together for going on almost 3 years now. And we recently had the pleasure to be approached by Geek and Sundry to have us begin bringing our wondrous little personal adventure out to you guys via their Twitch channel. And we've done 16 episodes so far, and the outpouring of appreciation for it and the connection we've made with you guys, the community, has been absolutely electric and amazing. I think all of us agree with that, definitely. But yeah, it's been a really interesting journey. Let's go down here on the end here and talk a little bit about ourselves and each other, what we do, and kind of how we got pulled into this craziness.
Oh God, I got to start? Really?
I mean,
You got to start.
everyone's voice actors, so we can get that out of the way, right?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a
Probably
voice
also
actor.
talk about how you
Hi.
got into D&D at what point in your life.
Oh, okay.
At
I can do that. That's much more interesting than voice acting. My name is Taliesin Jaffe. I got into role-playing in high school. with, well, I had funny hair and wore a lot of black, so I played Vampire the Masquerade. And I LARPed. I was a big LARPer for those, I don't think I have to explain that. And just had a group of friends in high school, and we would do everything from like weird games, like we played GURPS and Riffs and Cyberpunk and all those games in the early 90s, late 80s. And it had been a while for me, and then I got pulled into a completely different game with Matt and a few friends of ours that we played for about a year and a half. And then we'll get to the story of Liam's game, but I got pulled into the game that was the first game, and it has ruined me for every other game I could possibly want to play. So.
Yes, I guess I first got into role-playing, tabletop role-playing in particular, with Matt. Matt was actually my first DM like 6-7 years ago. Approximately, yeah. And I've had other games. I was a part of a Buffy the Vampire Slayer tabletop RPG, which was super fun. Yep. It's a good game. It's a good
Miles
game. I
knows.
was a pyromancer. It was awesome. I will say though, once you have Matt, it's hard. It's hard to go back.
Yeah.
Once you go Matt, you can't go back. It's just, it works. Shut up. Don't judge me, Travis.
That's not becoming a T-shirt.
Chris, hi. Hi, how are you? I didn't see you. Hi. Oh, and there's Erica. Hi, guys.
Okay, how about
yeah.
you, Laura?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, hey. Oh, hi, guys. Hi, I'm Laura Bailey. RPGs, huh?
Yeah.
So I the first time I ever played pencil and paper RPG was with this group because of that guy. I always played RPGs. Like, I'm a big video game fan. I'm a geek for that. And so I always chose RPGs as like what I wanted to play. And so this wasn't anything, surprisingly, it wasn't anything new for me. Once we started playing, I kind of fell into it really, really fast because I was kind of accustomed to all of that.
Some would say instantly.
Instantly. Yeah, it was so much fun, and it was only supposed to be a one-off game when we started this, and it was just, we all had so much fun playing together that it was like, we can't stop this. When's the next time we can get together and do it again and again and again? And yeah, it was epic.
The longer version of that story, for anybody who doesn't know it, is several years ago.
That's Liam O'Brien, everybody.
Oh, hi, I'm Liam O'Brien. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm just so happy. Several years ago, I was directing Matt for the first time on a game, and we knew each other, but not as well as we do now. And he would come in, and every time he came in, like a drug pusher, would be like, "You should come. We could do a one-off. I could play with you. You played when you were younger. We should play together."
Yeah, man, roll some dice. It'll be fun. What could possibly happen, huh?
First time's
I won't
free.
tell your parents.
And I refused every time. I said, "Oh, that'd be great," but I got brand new kids because I had brand new kids. And then fast forward to several years later, where Sam Riegel, who's not here,
Lame.
and I do a dorky podcast, and we do something dorky every time. And I thought, let's do one time. We'll play a pen and paper role-playing game. And we asked these yahoos, and we played the game, and it was a blast. And then everyone left, and I went home that night and went, oh, man, that was so good. How do I tell them I want to do it again? And I sent out an email, and nobody responded for a long time.
Oh, that is true. Actually, yeah.
Couple
that
of
is really
days,
true.
so I felt like I had a big red N on my forehead. But then the answers trickled in, and then we kept playing, and now we're here, and there's a baseball field behind us.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah! Take that, sports!
Yeah.
Yeah, sports ball.
I shouldn't do that. What they do here is really awesome.
No, this is great.
Yeah, I got involved because of this guy. They had already played a game.
Yes, one game.
Yeah, one game. And then I remember we had a party for a friend of ours, Troy Baker. It was his birthday, and you guys were talking about it. And I was like, oh, dang, I want to play. And then, so we started, and then we were putting like our character sheets together, and then oh yeah, I kind of sent you. I was like, yeah, I think my name should be, I don't know, Pike Trickfoot. And you were just so helpful and just emailing me back. And then the first game, because I'd never really played anything like this before. And I'm sure you guys can tell in the game, I'm always like, wait, what is this? Or what does this mean? I was just so, I was in awe of everybody because they were doing voices and I was trying to keep up, but I couldn't really. And I was like, I want to do this all the time. Every night, can we? But, and then we kind of just started doing it all the time. And I, honestly, some of the best nights of my life have been from this game. Love you.
All right.
Woo!
Oh, you? Me? Hi.
Hi.
I'm Travis. I play Grog. Super smart. I never played any. I never
Also
played
ale.
any. Huh? Oh, also ale. I never played any RPGs before this, but I had asked around our little voice actor community for years, like Yuri Lowenthal and Liam and Matt Mercer. I think the first time I asked you about it was on a mocap session. I was like, I hear you do the Master of Dungeonings. What does that look like? And he started to tell me, and I couldn't concentrate on anything besides the fact that I wanted to do it. And then Liam had that birthday party, and I came 20 minutes late, and I walked into Laura being extremely posh and bargaining with somebody for something, and Liam was going, yes, of course. Oh, hello, sir. And I was terrified. And I think Matt had said, like, just prepare your class and your race. And I had said Goliath Barbarian, and he goes, okay, so what's your name? And I was like, Grog. He goes, Grog, what do you do? I was like, I make fine leather boots. He goes, okay, bootmaker Grog. And we were off to the races. And that has led us to this, somehow.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Orion Akaba, and I'm a voice actor. I don't know if you guys, did you guys? Okay. That's enough, Cupid. I'm a big Magic the Gathering guy, and I hadn't played. Also, with like Travis and Laura, I haven't played D&D before Liam's birthday, and he was like, hey, I want to do this D&D thing, and I was like, D&D, all right, okay. And I was like, all right. Liam is, I've known him, I think the longest, or maybe you the longest, but he's like a brother to me, and so I'll do whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll come play and stuff, and that led to a bond and a friendship and an experience that I can't replicate or pay any money or do anything to even compare it to anything else to. So this game has literally become the most important thing and most fun thing in my life every week. And through just time and bullshitting around, like, we vined and tweeted stuff randomly through in our privacy of our own game. And fucking now what the fuck is going on?
Let's play ball!
Scanlan sends his regards, as he's too busy fucking whores. Oh, that's right. Sorry, everyone. And Matthew Mercer is great. Now you talk.
You have disadvantage for the remainder of the panel. Yeah, that's kind of the story how it all came together. I enjoyed. There are a few things I enjoy more than finding or having people converse with me and say, like, I'm interested in role-playing games, but I don't know how they work or what they're about. I hear it's a weird thing, and I'm like, well, kinda, but the best kind of weird. And knowing that once these people, especially being geared towards performance arts and kind of putting ourselves in a different place mentally anyway for a lot of our job, it would be an easy transition for them to get into it, and watching them all suddenly click that moment of like, oh, I can do anything. Yes, we can try anything. Doesn't mean you'll do it, but you can certainly try. But yeah, it's been absolute wonderful joy watching this game grow and the community grow since we started the stream. And yeah, it's probably one of my favorite things, period, ever in my life so far. So
Ever in the
and
ever.
the fact that we get to share it with you guys now is even more amazing. And you guys have been incredible this entire journey. So thank you for that, guys, sincerely.
Yeah. It's amazing the amount of times that we've had conversations because, you know, when you're playing a game, we all see it as real. You know, we've lived those experiences for so long that that world exists and our characters exist and those experiences exist, but only between us. And then as soon as we were able to bring it to Geek and Sundry, and now you guys are taking part in it too, all of a sudden it's a real thing, if that makes any sense, you know? Like, to know that you guys know who Percy is phenomenal, and that anybody loves Trinket as much as I do. That means so much, you know?
It was like we were all quietly, privately going crazy when we were just playing a game.
Yes.
But now you guys are saying the weird whispers that we heard in our head. You're parroting them back to us, or we're like, oh, Percy is real. He's real. I know he's real.
We're all
Yeah.
gonna be insane in the next 5 years, I know it.
It kind of, yeah, it does kind of feel like being the little kid who's like, no, there's a monster under our bed. And everyone was like, oh yeah, no, you're right. There totally is a monster kicking it under there. And you're like, what? They see it too? And I feel like that's true every time we get a piece of fan art that comes in, because I know personally I was afraid. I was like, I hope the story translates. I hope what we see, they can see. But every time we see like a piece of fan art or anything like that, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's Gilmore. Holy shit.
And
They see it too.
And on that note too, like the fan art, the letters, like the recently penned Critmas that has happened a few times it's a strange experience, because for us, you know, from just a humility standpoint, it's like, why are they buying us things? Like, they don't need to do that. But it becomes this wonderful connection point where we get the opportunity through that to also realize how much it means to other people through these letters and these people that donate to our charity, 826LA, by the way, which is an amazing charity. You guys have done an amazing job helping support that too. And it's been a really, really incredible experience to know that something that means so much to us also is starting to mean so much to other people as well. And it's just amazing.
It's nice to have a show about D&D, huh?
We're having this strange tabletop renaissance now where, like, you know, you used to kind of keep that stuff close to your chest. You mentioned, yeah, I played Dungeons and Dragons. You know, you kind of be kind of quiet about it. Now we can say it a little more proudly, and as opposed to people going like, T&D, that's nerd stuff. They're like, cool. When do you play?
Yeah. I have to say, like, that's one of my favorite aspects of what this is we have, and I said this to one of our fans I signed something for, but Travis is one of my favorite things about the show. I mean, Tiberius is my favorite thing about the show. No, but Travis, as a human being, is it's just, there's a lot of it breaks down those stupid walls where it's like, no, it's not a bunch of, you know, introverts in somebody's basement and stuff. It's like we have a big hulking mass of a man, you know, that could beat all of us up, and he's there being just as big as a geek as we are. It breaks down the thing where women can't play, because you have these three gorgeous, badass women kicking ass and also playing Dungeons and Dragons. There's a lot of great things about this show that I love.
I remember I was introducing you to a friend of mine, and just completely out of context, I was like, and I hadn't talked. This was still when it was kind of new, and I was like, oh, this is Matt. He's my dungeon master. And then like I just kept moving on, and then they kind of just looked at me, and I was like, oh wow, that sounded really weird.
What you didn't see was me the whole time behind you going like,
Yeah. I was like, oh, what I mean is we play D&D. It's not, that sounds so not what it is.
I can show you the Velvet Room if you like.
Matt just pulls out a D20. He's like, roll it.
Mr. Mercer's been waiting for you.
forgotten about that. Before we get to the Q&A session, is there any other things that we guys wanted to talk about here, particularly while we're on a baseball field talking about Dungeons & Dragons?
We're on a baseball field. Oh, stand up if you're wearing one of our amazing Critical Role shirts, because they're all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's amazing. We love you. We love you for buying those. It's insane that you have them, and we love you.
We have original generation.
Our critters.
You know, groups. We have the second generation release too. We have the new generation, which by the way, the new red shirts you see with the Critical Role logo, designed by our Taliesin Jaffe over here. Percy designed those himself.
Aw.
I was wearing my shirt, except on the plane, but then I dropped my cinnamon roll with. You guys can probably tell on the show I'm constantly eating because I'm always hungry.
So that was a cinnamon roll
It
fail?
was just but it was a cinnamon roll and it had like the Cinnabon with the fresh, hot, creamy
sounds
sauce.
so good.
And it's just I was like, all right, I can't wear this to the panel.
We wouldn't have judged.
I just love that, like, today, like, 7 people have come up to me with, like, this intense look at their eyes, and have, like, come up to me very quietly and been like, hey, Briarwoods, man. Wow. Wow. This is weird private issues in my life. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, wow. I know. Wow. It is fabulous to finally have an audience. Like, we've been playing in this little room knowing that there are people there in theory, but like to actually, this is.
It's kind of like a reality show, but we're not putting ourselves through the ringer. We're putting our characters through it, so it's great. It's like
Them than us. I mean, really.
Yeah, people going, oh, Keyleth's mom, man. You're like, yeah. Wait, what? Right. No, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
I will say, no,
Just real
no,
quick.
Wait.
take it.
For the record, I'm really shitty at math. So.
Okay, so yeah, what I was actually going to say was, I am actually really impressed at the critters as a whole in the Critter Nation. We had an awesome story that we heard from our friend Danny, who's a critter. Hi, Danny.
Oh man, hi.
I know, yeah, right? Hi. And she came out here and then was talking to another critter, and he was like, "Oh, you're in Southern California? Well, I know people at Disneyland, so I can get you passes to Disneyland." And it was just like because they
Be a
Critical
critter,
Role,
go to
just critters.
Disneyland. That's the
Yeah.
moral of the story.
So you guys are awesome because you guys are taking care of each other, and I'm
right.
just really loving like the communities that I'm seeing are being built and the friendships that are being built around this. I'm
And
like,
the other campaigns that are coming out of this. All you guys
All
who
the
either
campaigns.
have already been playing or starting your own games and tweeting at us your adventures and your stories and your characters. It's so awesome to see that continue to grow.
It's like the internet, but nice. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's super. I've been YouTubing comedy stuffs for a bit, and you've been. It's,
I've seen
They're
the dark
mean.
sides of the internet.
They are mean.
They are mean.
And our people are not mean, and they're really intelligent and compassionate, and it's fucking really great.
What is it with you?
I don't know.
I'm really excited.
We're all kind of playing ourselves, people. Let's be real.
If you hadn't guessed.
Yeah, Tiberius's wisdom, maybe not that far off.
My intelligence is still 6.
well, yeah.
Indeed. All right.
Questions?
Intelligence.
Questions?
So yeah,
No,
let's go
to the
let's
Q&A?
go ahead and move on to the Q&A section of this. We have a mic available, I believe. It's somewhere.
Yeah, there's a mic. Is there a
Maybe.
mic floating
I
around?
believe there's a mic.
I was told
I believe.
I
there
got
would
it.
be a microphone.
I got it.
Liam's got it.
Oh, snap.
Put your hands up. You got questions?
Vax is stealthing into the crowd.
You have to
All
sneak
right.
through, though. They
He's
won't be
going
able
to
to.
do his poison dagger,
Stabby.
and he's
Stabby,
dead.
stabby, stabby.
Crit. He's dead.
Microphone.
Okay.
I have a question for Orion. When you wanted the thing from Scanlan, how long did it take you to think that up to do that on that board?
Okay. I wanted that thing since he got it, and
And
really
he wouldn't give it to you.
no. And I was going to approach it several ways, and I talked to Matthew a lot, like outside of game. I never met a game, but I get really excited. I've been playing RPGs since I was like 10, and so half the time I think of strategy as opposed to the player, and I just get really into that. And so Matthew's really good at he's like, well, think of who you're dealing with, and then act accordingly. And so with Sam, he's an interesting fella to begin with. I was gonna pummel him to death, really, to get it back at first.
To which I was like, remember, your party would not take kindly to that.
Exactly. So that
I don't think Keyleth would be able to
No.
take your back on that one.
she wouldn't like that. So I didn't. And that's the simple, silence, telekinesis, and then fireball him to death. But the thing is, when I was like, oh, Sam, I'm a UCB guy, Upright Citizens Brigade. He's also a funny guy. There you go, UCB. Sam is also, so I was like, he's funny, I'm funny, I'll use funny. And then it was just like empty chalkboard. I was like, math? Yeah, that'll be funny. I'll fucking come up with something. And then I figured, more bees with honey or flies. I have no idea how that saying goes. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Honey, use the honey.
Use the honey instead. But I thought of that for a month of how to get that back, pretty much.
You mean you thought
It was
of it
worth
right
it.
there in the moment? It suddenly burst into your mind, and you did it right there.
That for the mathing, yes.
Yes.
That math
Anybody
moment
else?
was
Math.
one of my favorites.
All right.
And we love
Yeah.
Scanlan, by the
Yeah.
way. Every time he
Yeah.
comes up with a song, I ask him afterwards. I'm like, did you have like 2 songs on retainer that you were going to sing during the show?
You guys have a baseball field behind you. You look amazing.
Shut up!
Right there.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Everyone looks very pretty. I was wondering, y'all kind of touched on this a bit whenever you were talking about how you started playing. How did you all come up with your names individually?
That's a good question.
Mine's my professional name. I use it for most things. It's easy for me to hear when people say it because it's my name.
Oh man, I had actually been trying to put together this web series ages ago that was basically about it was a post-zombie apocalypse type of thing. And then cut to a little while later, I work on a game called Last of Us, which was basically like the same thing. So, but my character's name in the web series...
By the way, how amazing was she in that?
Thank you. So the web series, that my character's name was Pike in it, and I was like, I feel like I just like that name. And then I honestly don't know where Trickfoot came from. I can't
Your
remember.
imagination.
I was just like, Pike, oh, Trickfoot. I don't know. There was nothing interesting about it.
I, like I said, like to play RPGs a lot, and Vex was always a name that I, for some reason, would go to for my characters I would create in those games. And then, for some reason, I always think that elves need to have apostrophes in their names. If you could see, because on every RPG like Dragon Age, every game that I play, I will come up with, I recreate characters like 10 times before I stick with one. So there's just like a list of like, to level 4 of characters. And yeah, Vex is always in that list. There's other names as well that I might get to someday in this game, hopefully not.
Wait, you did that for Skyrim too, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
of
you
course.
did it for Skyrim. Okay.
But I'm not Vex in Skyrim because I feel like Vex is sacred now. I don't want to use Vex on. Is that weird? And then when me and Liam, because okay, so here's the thing. I'm getting off subject. When I got invited to the game, Liam had already taken Rogue, and I wanted to be a Rogue, and he'd already taken Half Elf, and I wanted to be a Half Elf, and I was like, what the heck, man? You're so stealthy. And then I remembered that we actually are twins, and I was like, maybe we should be twins in the game as well. So, yeah, so.
And you said, is this still working? You said your name was Vex. And
Yeah.
I said, oh, well, I'll be Vax then. And you went,
Perfect.
That's not what you said. You said, but my name's like, it's short for Vexalia, so you got to come up. And I went, I'll be Vaxildan. Without a B. And you went, oh, that's pretty good.
That's really good. And what's funny is for the first year, you kept looking at me like, what's my name? How do I spell my name?
We still don't get it right.
Is there an H in it? I don't know.
I actually still use Vaxy Stabby to remember that because we said backstab, like backstab.
Oh, that's good. That's
so
good.
when he does backstab as a rogue. So
There
that's
you go.
how-
Now you all have that.
Yeah, backstab.
That's an easy way to remember.
Vexdex. Oh, that works. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah. Workshop it. I also really like elven names, but I feel like my name should have like meaning. I don't know why. So I'll tend to pick a character and then I'll be like, well, so I think for Keyleth, I was like, she's an air druid. So I'll name her something airy. So I'll type in like air. I'll go
bubbles.
I'll go to a I'll go to like an elven dictionary and I'll type in air. And then they'll pop out all these like elven words for air or elven, or like if I wanted to be like, you know, my character was angsty, I'll put in like angsty. And it will like pull out all these elven words for angsty. And then I pick something based on that. So I think Keyleth was actually like, I think it was actually originally spelled with like a Q. It was like Q-U-E, it's like, and it meant like zephyr. It meant like a wind.
Yeah.
And I just kind of switched it and renamed it and got Keyleth.
Yeah, and
So
that,
your name actually means fart, and you just don't know it?
exactly, yeah.
Yes.
In Sylvan.
It means silent but deadly. So
Oh boy.
Yeah, what's your name again?
Percival Fredericksheim von Musel Kowalski de Rolla III.
They call him Percy, though.
They call me Percy. Is actually, I decided, like, after I kind of had an image of the character I wanted to play, I wanted him to have a ridiculous name because I love ridiculous names. It's actually a mixture of three things, one of which is a character. I was a child actor also. One of them is the name of a character I played as a child actor. The other section of it is the name of an anime character from Legend of the Galactic Heroes. And the third chunk of it is actually a friend of mine who I will not name, but who has the greatest name on earth. Yes, I'll leave it a mystery because he doesn't know that I stole his name from my little D&D game.
And now we're like trademarking it.
And
That's what we're doing.
and thankfully he's 80 years old and lives in Italy, so he doesn't have to know about this. And I want to kind of keep it that way. But yeah, that's basically where my character's name came from. This is a mix of all three of those things.
Somewhere in Tuscany, a little old Italian man is standing up in front of his computer and swearing in Italian.
He types all in caps too, so I'll never know how angry he is.
Oh, right. Other than just coming up with it because I hadn't made a name yet because I'm an idiot. I loved Monkey Island, the game, and I remember that was my introduction to Grog. And I always figured that like a barbarian needs a really simple name. So Grog was just the first stupid light that turned on in my brain. And that's what I am. And you came up with my last name.
Strongjaw, yeah.
That's right. Because I got possessed or something at one point. It was bad.
You did.
You,
I'm done.
we
I
already
did it.
covered yours. Yours.
Tiberius.
Bring us home.
Right. Tiberius, I actually named for two reasons. The first is he's Tiberius Caesar is Caesar's father, and I wanted the character because he comes from a political, like, kind of high tier family to have that kind of weight behind it. And Stormwind.
It's about farting.
That's another fart reference.
This is yes. It is. I fart a lot. No. No. I was actually.
Who doesn't?
I was actually at the time. I was cracking the hell. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Hell out of Skyrim at the time again. So it's like it came out and then like a year passed and I was playing it again when we were starting at the campaign. And then I think it's like a place in Skyrim where it's like the Stormwind or something like that. So I was like, yeah, Stormwind, awesome. Well,
But I would like to point out, we didn't even realize that you had done that till like a few weeks ago.
yeah. Yeah.
And you were like, because you were playing Elder Scrolls
Right.
online.
So,
That's what it was.
So thank you. So 2.5 years and change years passed, and I was just like, yeah, I'm like really creative. like, totally, I'm really hard not to curse that I'm trying not to. It was really, I was like, wow, like, I'm like, yeah, I came up with all that myself. And then I started playing Elder Scrolls Online again, and like, bad, and I love that game. And then I was like, yeah, Dragon Knight, cool, because like, fans were like, hey, you should try Dragon Knight and stuff. And I was like, started playing, I'm like, Draconic Parts, stuff, Draconia. Oh shit, I ripped off Skyrim the whole time. I'm not creative at all. Thanks for pointing that out, Marisha.
Any more questions?
Real fast, I did want to give a shout out to our wonderful gnome, Scanlan, who is apparently watching from home and wants an ego stroke. So.
Hi, Scanlan.
Hi, Scanlan.
We miss you.
All right. What?
All right. We have about 15 minutes left in the panel, so we want to make these questions pretty quick answers.
Yes.
Too.
But we're periscoping, so. What each character's most heroic moment was on the show, anytime, including the whole game?
Let's go the whole game.
Whole game.
I know Tiberius's. Want me to tell the story?
I feel like Matt would know our most.
I know a lot of them. Yeah, there was one sequence. And I'll make it quick. They were fighting their first Umber Hulk they ever encountered in this like nest that was in this cavern up at the top of a giant underground cave, and it was about a 170-foot drop into a lake that had an island in the center. And they were fighting it. Grog was trying to grab it and throw it through the hole that dropped into this giant cavern. However, it bull rushed him and knocked him off instead. Grog fell, took enough damage to put him unconscious from full life. And the Umber Hulk then was pushed out after it via Tiberius. And they all realized, oh, we're all up here in the hole with no creature. Grog's unconscious down there with an Umber Hulk. He's going to die. And so Tiberius decides he's just going to jump out after him. And he just leaps through the whole swan dive. I'm talking Gandalf versus the Balrog style, slow plummet in darkness. And I'm telling him, like, you realize casting Featherfall is going to take a really hard concentration check. And if you fail, you're probably going to die. And he said, yes, do it. And he needed a 14 on a D20, and he rolled exactly a 14. Cast Featherfall, landed, and managed to stop the Umber Hulk in time to let the rest of the party come down via rope. It was one of my favorite moments for his character.
That was pretty epic.
I got your back.
Anyone
We
else?
thought we were going to lose 2 party members at the same time. The rest of us were like, no.
Anyone else?
Oh, well, I got the kill on the creature that killed Pike.
Yeah.
You did.
And I don't get a final kill on a lot of things, and it was like,
And you
so like Pike is dead on the ground, and like I got the last shot, so I'm like running forward, shooting arrows. It was sad. Tears falling down, screaming, Pike!
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's right.
I was actually going to say, I think one of my most heroic moments was in the same game when Pike died and Keyleth turned into a eagle, and I scooped you up and got you to the temple first.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
in-
right.
And like was that the same time that the temple, the like tower was collapsing?
No,
So-
that was beforehand.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was beforehand.
So
Okay.
a battle with a treachery demon, by the way, a Glabrezu, for those who are in the know. I could just say that at a panel.
Translation, he's a giant butthole.
I was quite proud of the magic carpet save of like our very first run in with the magic carpet. That story it's a very complicated story, but we found the magic carpet out of luck while falling out of a building and everything. Kind of worked out okay. No one died.
I don't know
Magic
about.
carpet was awesome because we were trying to use it as a parachute.
That's right, because we were falling.
And it was like essentially a gamble move anyway. We were going to be like, oh, let's be
This
like
carpet's
those.
never gonna work. It's
Yeah.
too heavy.
Exactly. We're going to be like those toy G.I. Joes that you throw over your balcony and it doesn't work. That's what we thought. And then so we're like, oh, we're trying to parachute with a rug. And then that was when Matt's like, and you float down slowly because you learn the carpet is magic.
Well, it
Yeah.
sweeps
It
underneath
swooped
you.
underneath.
Many-
Right before that, he goes, make a use magic device.
And we were all like,
And
what?
we were like, what? And you screamed. You were like, it's a flying carpet.
Yeah. Many of you have seen this moment because Ashley made a video
that's
that's
right.
online, and you get a lot of our reactions to that real time.
It's just that whole thing was another one of my favorite Tiberius moments because he didn't deal with any of it. Tiberius jumped out of the window while that shit was going down and featherfall to safety, while these
all
guys
of
had
us
to
were
deal with this whole
dying
fucking
inside.
thing.
I did that too. I jumped out of the window with no feather fall.
So they go through this whole ordeal, and like they're like come out of this tower that's crumbling and all this shit, and like barely with their lives. And I'm like, oh, hello everyone.
Yeah, you go jump out of the window, and I'm like, great idea. Jump out of the window. You cast Featherfall, and I'm like, shit. Live and
Wish
learn.
you would step back from that ledge, my
Nope.
friend.
I think my most heroic thing was when you crushed my cask of ale, and I avenged it by headbutting the giant in the face.
Yeah.
True love, people. True love.
I don't know about heroic, but I think the most intense moment I've had in our entire game is sneaking in with Scanlan into the Mind Flayers' little camp. And you were just describing all the things that were in the room, and we were just kind of walking quietly through the room looking at it, and my heart was going like a hamster, and it was intense. That's it.
And then Sam throws shit on the dude's face.
Yep.
I will say, any moment that you hear us on the screen being like, oh God, I'm hyperventilating. Oh God, the adrenaline. Oh God, my heart's racing. Or I'm shaking. That's all 100% real. We'll actually be like, oh, we gotta roll. Oh, I dropped it. It's awful. It's all real. It's good.
Any other questions? We'll go.
10 minutes.
Yeah, we got time for a few more, so let's
Right
try
here.
and get these pretty rapid.
Sword, maybe take your filter out of the way.
Thanks, man. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good question. Next. No, go ahead.
So my question isn't about like D&D. It's actually how you guys enjoying your time here in San Diego, or more specifically at Comic-Con, and what's the best cosplay you got, or the most shocking cosplay that you guys seen, or a cosplay that you guys were like, oh, that's awesome. Or have you guys even seen any cosplay, or have you guys been like too busy to really do anything?
Yeah, we've been here the whole time.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
Great time.
This
we
sucks.
have a baseball. We have a baseball field behind us, so that's cool.
Best cosplay I've seen here. I saw some. It was a couple years ago. I saw a really amazing Mass Effect group that had or not Rex, that had an actual functional like animatronic face. It was incredible.
I saw a guy dressed as Hodor with a box of Raisin Bran on his back. It was awesome.
Hold on, we got another question here.
That's
real quick, guys.
amazing. Oh my god.
Oh, no, you can. Sorry, Ryan. Hi. This is a DM question for Matt, because this is
hi.
a problem. Hi. I've had problems with this in previous campaigns as a player, and now as a DM with 6 new players. How do you keep battle going when players take time to roll? Like, how can you encourage people to keep a flow going so at the end of the game you're like, that was epic, instead of, that was math?
Right. I mean, the system helps. I mean, our transition from Pathfinder to 5th edition, I did partially because of that. Pathfinder is a great system, and I love it. But the more players you have, the more it can get bogged down with floating modifiers. And like, wait, so your bless spell gives me +1 to hit and damage, but then like that gives me +2 to damage, but I have a racial bonus against the cobalt. It's just +6 to hit, 4 to damage, 3 to damage. You know, it gets to that point. So being able to simplify the modifiers, you can home rule certain things where you just have a simple way of keeping track of those. Also, as a DM, keeping combat going is just keeping your energy up as a DM. You're the guide for everyone else. And if you start getting kind of slow or laggy, everyone else will follow suit. Music also helps. I find battle music, really, really good sets. Like, we can't use any licensed stuff on the stream anymore. I'd like gut my previous music selections. But like good classic Conan music works well. A lot of great fantasy films and good soundtracks work great. Yeah. They know them all too well. But good music, keeping your energy up, and making sure that when it comes to players' turns, they know what they're going to do. And if they're not ready, you skip their turn. You're hesitating.
That's happened to us a few times.
Yeah,
Before we started streaming, he would skip our turns.
Yeah, you
He'd
goose
be like,
us
"What are
as
you gonna
go.
do?" And
What are you
if
gonna do?
we say more than like 3 times, then he's like, "No." If we go moving on.
Yeah, either skip it or put them at the bottom of the initiative order, something like that. Basically giving them an incentive to be present in the moment and to already have their ideas ready to go. And things change in battle. Sometimes you'll get to your turn and like everything changed in the battle dynamic. And that's also how battle works. And you have to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And you're like, all right, it's just keeping that energy up. You're that, as the DM, you're the pinnacle kind of the holder of the flow of the story. So it's a lot of pressure on you. But just keep up that energy, some good music, and make sure people are also putting the energy and effort into it. Because you put countless hours behind that stuff, the least they can do is respect that by being present and trying to keep up with you.
Really quick, tell them about the hourglass.
Also, hourglass helps. I got a nice 5-minute and a 10-minute hourglass. And sometimes, especially if you're in a sequence like a skill challenge or an event that has more tension behind it, just putting an hourglass on the table and turning it over and being like, you have this much time. Like, till what? Like, you don't know. But what are you going to do? You'll be surprised how quickly and in the moment every player is.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
That hourglass you put down when the lava was coming down and we had to get out of the cat, like, it was horrifying.
Yeah, it adds a whole other layer of just another question.
Oh, thanks a lot. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi.
So what I wanted to ask is...
Get it right
Sorry.
up there.
So what I wanted to ask is, especially for Grog and Pike, since they've personally experienced this lovely thing, is there ever a time when you die in Matt's game that you're afraid that this is going to be the death of the character? That you're like, they're not going to get me out of this time.
Yes!
Yeah.
Every
yes.
game.
It's every game.
When Pike died, she was crying, she was crying, she was crying, you were crying.
I was
I
borderline.
was asleep, but no. I mean, we were all free. Matt, you could tell he did not want to say the things that he was saying, and it was only because we rolled extremely well when it counted that we got that thing that brought you back to life.
I think there was a natural 20 in there, too.
Yeah, every time we go unconscious and then the death sets in, like against the beholder thing, I was just hoping that we got around to Pike or Keyleth so that Greater Restoration come around, I wouldn't permanently be dead, because there's a chance that one of these days.
When you were unconscious in the lava, what?
Yeah.
I thought he was done.
Yeah.
If Trinket dies, yes.
Like in all seriousness, the Kavarn fight is a really
I'm
good
okay.
example.
Off the stage.
Because myself, Tiberius, was terrified of fighting a beholder. Because I knew, particularly as the only real caster of the group, as soon as I get in the eyesight of that thing, I'm useless. So the reason that I didn't go in there at all is because if I did, I would be no use to anybody. So I need to, and I don't know the range, and I'm not going to cheat and be like, well, I don't know what the range is of this, and whatever. You don't come back from disintegration. You don't come back from death rays. They're called death rays for a reason. And then he throws it at us, and I'm scared for a while. That's my answer.
That was the most nervous I'd ever been in any game we played. And I think that's why it was such a silent game. Because I was just like... I just never wanted it to be my turn. Because I was like, well...
We didn't even talk in voices.
I know, we didn't. There was no voice.
Well, you were twice the reason we still have Grog. He technically would have died twice that battle over.
Yeah,
That is
true.
True. Oh, Grog.
I went back and watched the stream of that to see if you could see our hands shaking as much as they were because all of us were terrified during that fight.
Yeah, that was a crazy boss battle.
And then the second one was even harder than that.
Oh yeah.
What the heck, Matt?
Well, that was less of a boss battle and more of a scenario-based challenge.
Yeah.
You walked into the center of an illithid colony with and freed them of their oppressor.
Yeah, exactly.
What's gonna
we
happen?
were their saviors.
We had a buddy. We had a buddy.
Yeah, we had
More like a
cred.
butthole.
Lessons
Fucking
were learned,
Florida.
people.
By the way, this is essentially a glimpse into our time after the show cuts.
Yeah.
Is us yelling and being like,
Yeah.
"Why did you do that? You could have died." Don't you scare me like that again. Feel like a protective mom. Like, don't.
All right.
Slamming on the brakes. Slamming on the brakes.
All right, guys.
One more question?
All right, we have time for one really, really fast, rapid-paced question. We'll answer.
Hand
We'll
up, right away.
we have
As
a minute
Orion
left,
is-
and then we got to run.
As Orion is running up, please just take a moment to appreciate the fact that we've been talking about Dungeons and Dragons for an hour in front of a baseball stadium. Our time is now.
Our time is now.
All right, guys, real quick. Same time next year.
Same time next year.
Heck yeah.
We're down.
Yeah.
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 If they'll have us.
That's a date.
Well,
Yeah, we
we'll
brought
see what the
sleeping
setup
bags.
is, but yeah,
All right.
we'd be happy to.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Next
You guys
year,
are awesome.
NFL.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
hey. What's up?
Question for the DM. I heard rumors that there might be a little space for a sellsword of some type. If you got the gold for it, I got Regina and Linda waiting by my sacks of gold.
We classic dwarven request.
Classic.
Yeah, we
Money
shall
talks and
see if the
bullshit
adventures.
walks.
Yeah, we shall see if the adventures of Vox Machina mind their way towards Vox Moronica. Guys, that is the end of our panel. I wanted to thank you all so much for coming.